It was a weird day at the White House today where our First Lady, Melania Trump, hosted the second day of her global summit titled Fostering the Future Together, which is basically a commercial for AI in education. And she made quite an entrance. You can see they really are looking for the future because she had an unusual escort. One of those robots is Melania, okay? The other is Figure 3, which is a humanoid that can complete simple household chores like doing laundry, loading the dishwasher, and it can teach your children. And then in the corner there of the screen is the French First Lady, Brigitte Macron, who picked a weird day to visit. No one's exactly sure what they should do here because, you know, she's kind of suspicious walking alongside this robot. As it approaches the First Lady of France, Melania stops, and then Sacre Bleu. And it only got scarier from there as Melania pleasantly informed us that we will all soon be replaced by machines.
The future of AI is personified. It will be formed in the shape of humans. Very soon, artificial intelligence will move from our mobile phones to humanoids that deliver utility.
Did she say utility or fertility? Because that is competition in the bedroom her husband does not need. Maybe someday we will have a robot president. You know, couldn't be worse than what we have right now. We got a sneak peek at what might be in store for Team Trump come November at the elections. I mentioned last night Mr. Ban Mail-in Voting voted by mail in a special election in Palm Beach. This is a district Trump won by double digits 2 years ago, and the district he lives in. But seems like maybe the magic is wearing off because last night, a Democrat, Emily Gregory, scored a major upset over a Republican that Trump endorsed. She won one solidly red seat in the state legislature, which is a real kick in the golf balls for Mar-a-Lago. Let's just say there were a lot of tiny fist-sized holes getting punched in the White House drywall tonight. 2 days ago, Trump said the Republican candidate, John Maples, had his complete and total endorsement and that John will never let you down. And he's right, he won't, because he's back to work as a financial planner. He lost the race. The idea that Trump voted by mail at the same time he's trying to ram this Save My Fat Orange Ass Act through Congress right now, which is a bill that would do away with mail-in ballots, has put leaders in the GOP in a bit of a pickle. Trump gets a sizzle reel every day that only shows us attacking them. NBC said there's a daily montage. It typically runs for about 2 minutes, sometimes longer. He sees it every day. One official described the videos as a series of clips of stuff blowing up. And these video briefings are said to be fueling concerns among some of Trump's allies that he might not be receiving or absorbing the complete picture of the war. He's only seeing the positive stuff, which helps to explain why he keeps saying we already won the war that is still going on. I mean, do you know how many lives and how much money we could save if we just quietly brought everyone home from Iran and showed him Call of Duty clips instead? White House spokesman Caroline Leavitt released a statement pushing back on the story. She said, anyone who has been present for conversations with President Trump knows he actively seeks and solicits the opinions of everyone in the room and expects full-throated honesty from all his top advisors. That sounds like him, right? I mean, this is the guy who said, I know more about ISIS than all the generals. That's very collaborative, Donald Trump. Just step back and think about this. Every day, they're bringing him these fun little action movies of us blowing stuff up. Everyone's telling him how great he's doing. He's got 4 whole cable networks dedicated to kissing his ass 24/7. His staff is terrified to ever bring him any bad news, and he has the memory of a worm at the bottom of a bottle of Mescal. And this is the man in charge of sending our children to war, at least the ones whose dads don't have a good podiatrist to get them out of it. It's really something. our own government is making war propaganda videos for the person running the war. Even Kim Jong-un's like, that's a bit much. I don't know. The Iranians have said they will not accept Jared Kushner or Trump's special envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, as negotiators. The Iranians have a nickname for Jared. They call him the sorrowful broomstick, which sounds better in Farsi, and it's weird that the Iranians don't want to negotiate with Trump's son-in-law, whose primary job experience before this was holding Ivanka's purse. It seems very unfriendly. They want JD Vance to be the point person on talks, which is funny. I mean, this is the first time anyone has ever wanted to talk to JD Vance. Even his wife, Usha, was like, are you sure they said JD? Source said that Iran sees JD Vance as a more acceptable diplomatic figure than Witkoff and Kushner, in the same way canker sore is more acceptable than herpes. But do you know how much you have to suck for someone to demand you be replaced by JD Vance? And it's not an easy position for Vance to be in because Trump hates it when anyone gets credit for anything, so it really isn't in JD's best interest to do well in Iran because his White House key card might not work when he gets back to Washington, D.C. JD's like, guys, can we please just get back to blaming immigrants for our problems? Remember the eating the cats and dogs? What happened to that? I love that. But anyway, the lives of millions of people are now in the hands of a man who struggled to order a donut. The president has been very successful, you have to admit, in changing the narrative from the Trump-Epstein files to the war. There's been very little in the way of repercussions, in this country at least, for the many men who socialized with Epstein and did business with him, including one of his former lawyers, Epstein pal and Trump sycophant Alan Dershowitz.
Had President Trump been in charge in 1935, 1936, I think the Holocaust would have been prevented. I think he would have gone in after Nazi Germany. He would have destroyed it the way he is destroying Nazi Iran, and the Holocaust would have been prevented.
It's incredible. Donald Trump is now stopping wars from before he was even born. He's a peacemaking time traveler. If Trump had been president, Anne Frank would have been wearing a MAGA hat and getting jiggy to Kid Rock. In some states, gas prices have now jumped more than 30% over the last 2 weeks. And according to the White House, no, they haven't. But what happened to all that oil we got from Venezuela? I thought we were going to be swimming in it. And on top of that, the blockade in the Strait of Hormuz is preventing imports of nitrogen, which is a key ingredient in the fertilizer American farmers need to grow crops, to grow our food. The price of fertilizer has skyrocketed since the war started.
Let me connect some dots here because I think when you look at all of these things together as a picture, it becomes very clear. Start with Florida. Trump won that district by 11 points less than 2 years ago. The Republican who previously held the seat won by 19 points. A first-time Democratic candidate just flipped it. That is now 29 legislative seats Democrats have flipped since Trump's second term began. Republicans have flipped 0, not 1. And the most remarkable part of that Florida result is that Trump voted by mail in the same exact election while simultaneously pushing legislation to eliminate mail in voting for every other American. He used the right he's trying to take away from you on the same day as he was trying to take it away. The White House called it a non-story. That is not a non-story. That is the entire story of this administration in one sentence. Now look at the war. His own allies are on record saying they are worried he's not receiving or absorbing the complete picture of the conflict. What he's receiving is a 2-minute highlight reel of explosion every morning, carefully edited. Only the positive moments, no casualties, no cost, no strategic context, just fire. And based on that 2-minute video, he keeps telling the American public that we have already won a war that is still actively happening. 13 Americans are dead. $16 billion is gone. Gas prices are up more than like 30% in a week. And the man making these decisions is watching what is essentially a military action movie trailer every morning and being told everything is great. And then there's no negotiation situation. Iran has rejected Jared Kushner as a negotiator. They have rejected Steve Witkoff. The country we are bombing looked at the Trump administration and said, the only person we will talk is JD Vance. Let that land for a moment. The bar for acceptable was set so low that JD Vance cleared it. And Trump is clearly furious about this because he doesn't want Vance getting credit for it. So the incentive structure right now is that the person who could potentially end this war is being discouraged from doing so by the person who started. And while all of this is happening, the Epstein files have completely disappeared from the news cycle. Trump's name appears nearly 5,000 times in these documents. The investigation into his ranch in New Mexico was stopped in 2019. Pam Bondi refused to testify under oath, and Ellen Dershowitz is on television claiming Trump would have prevented the Holocaust. That is not a coincidence. That is actually a strategy that they want to do because they don't want people to talk. They don't want us to talk about Epstein files anymore because he's scared and he's just starting a war in Middle East just because of this. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. And I know that my viewers are older than me, and I'm really curious about your opinions on all of this happening in my channel that I'm talking about. Please leave a comment down below, like the video, and sub. Thank you so much.